25 years and 1 day ago today, North America was introduced to two little games that would change the landscape of not just video games, but popular culture forever. Pokémon Red and Pokémon Blue. These two adventures would globally launch the largest media franchise in the world, set up future generations of children falling in love with the world of Pokémon, and created a passionate fan base who, while easily divided by the minutiae of their favorite adventures, are all united in their bond to those adventures they shared. And all of these travels would come in the shadow of two Pokémon trainers, two headliners of this experience that generations would hold themselves to forever. One was a cocky rival of infinite skill, looking to one-up you at every turn, motivating you to catch 'em all, and further your own love for Pokémon as you both improved in tandem. That was him, Pokémon Trainer Blue. The other. First, what is your name? Right, so your name is Red. Pokémon Trainer Red is one of the most pure examples of a player character in video games. Muted not only his debut game, but every subsequent appearance. Not you, but you're still good. Whoopee! You aren't going to get a more perfect, silent protagonist than Red, projecting all of your Pokémon adventures right onto the character. But you can ask anyone who's stuck with the series past your first adventure in Kanto, Red means so much more than just being the first Pokémon master players could be. Pokémon isn't a complicated game story-wise. It's a weird RPG that more closely follows a sports story rather than some epic quest. But not only do you get to be the underdog, every step of Red's journey is made to embody the themes of Pokémon, of growing up, of being the very best. And once you enter your name into that Hall of Fame, Red's journey doesn't end. The legacy of what he's done being something that every single Pokémon trainer following in his footsteps dares to meet, and eventually overcome. A world of dreams with Pokémon awaits. Let's go! Red's adventures start fairly humble. You choose your starter, or get it chosen for you in yellow version, face direct antagonism from your rival, set out on your quest to catch 'em all and be the very best in tandem, and explore the Kanto region to its fullest. You battle gyms, catch new Pokemon, beat up Blue whenever he jump scares you. Pretty simple stuff. But unlike his rival, solely focused on the grind, Red takes in the world around him. You rescue Bill from his freaky Cronenberg experiment and get rewarded with an invite to the SS Anne that you earn not through reputation or status, but kindness. Where Blue turns tail from Pokemon Tower as soon as he's nabbed a Cubone, you bring the soul of Cubone's mother Peace and are rewarded with the Poké-Flute to permanently have an answer to sleep and gently awaken Snorlax with. You delve into the Pokemon Mansion and learn the secrets of what happened to Mewtwo. You journey to abandoned corners of the world like the Seafoam Islands and Power Plant to encounter legendary birds. You stop a terrorist coup on the world's largest tech company because there are people inside who could use your help.
Thank you.
You tell this guy to stay hydrated, and you give him some water. These are tiny events in the grand scheme of things. Inconsequential little actions to get past RPG roadblocks or explore bonus dungeons. Filler episodes in the sports anime that is Pokémon. But Red's a good kid, and he still does them. While everyone else in the world goes about their way, Red sees problems and uses the Pokémon he's bonded with to take care of them. And that gives him opportunities and encounters that Blue could only dream of. Is it something that every single Pokemon protagonist to follow would also do? Plus, maybe totally saving the world on top of it? Yeah, but usually someone sees something special in them to propel them forward. Red? He's just a kid who's there who's told he can't do it constantly. And then he does it anyway. Not because he's the hero, but because that's just the kind of boy he is. And that kid, against all odds, would climb to the very top and become his world's greatest Pokemon master. But that's not what makes Red memorable, for a lot of fans at least. Come on, he's a cute silent protagonist, but there's plenty of those. There's one thing that makes him extra special. Pokemon Gold and Silver don't feature Red as the protagonist again, because the protagonist is Gold, hence the name. Christmas Protag though. You have another journey through the Pokemon world, exploring the all-new Johto region, catching brand new Pokemon, kicking Team Rocket out of another big building, and you meet old faces from your last journey. 3 years have passed in-game since the events of Red and Blue. People have grown up, changed jobs, joined the Elite Four, and waiting for you at the end of the line is Lance. The guy who was the penultimate boss of the last game and has a team that he says is dragons, but is actually all flying types, so he's kind of pitiful as a final boss. But you beat him and unlock the Kanto region. Get to see how time has passed. People have changed. Technology is still incredible. And after conquering Blue once again, you unlock access to Mount Silver, the highest peak in the Johto region, with the most powerful Pokemon available. And standing at its apex, literally casting a shadow over you this entire game, Red never stopped trying to be the best after your journey with him ended. He kept training, far above anyone else, not wanting to aid in helping the next generation like Blue or wait patiently for worthy challengers like Lance. The journey of a Pokemon master never ends, and Red's team proves it. His Pokemon are the most powerful the player will encounter in the game, reaching into the 80s in the original Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and as high as 88 in their remakes. Pikachu, his most stalwart companion who he'll value and train up above all others. The final forms of Kanto's starters, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, representing the end of every single journey a player had with their starter at their side. Snorlax, one of the Pokemon Red had to encounter on his journey, far stronger than its still wild partner snoring away near Diglett's cave. And depending on your game, one of two final Pokemon, Lapras, the Pokemon given to Red for his selflessness in saving Sylph Company from the clutches of Team Rocket, or Espeon, the evolved form of an Eevee he received as a gift, growing into a new form not through stones to give it more power, but through kindness and patience. Some of the most commonly used Pokemon in every trainer's playthrough of Red, Green, Blue, or Yellow, trained far beyond anything the player is made to expect, beyond even legends, even Mewtwo. Red's team is a testament to his journey, to the strength of all of those players who conquered Kanto, standing at the absolute pinnacle of the Pokemon world with nothing but hard work and his best friends by his side. And compared to every single other challenge either of the first two generations of Pokemon have thrown at you, he is utterly indomitable. But it's a whole new world we live in now. Pokemon is so much bigger than the humble journey Red embarked on just 3 short years ago. In our world, Pokemon wasn't just a massive game release, it was an outright mania. Children all over the globe collected cards, talked about Pokemon, shared tips with each other, tried to catch them all, watched anime, ate Pokemon cereal and toaster pastries. Pokemon was an unstoppable phenomenon, the likes of which no one anticipated. The humble little RPG that could barely hold itself together and just wanted to share a love of bug catching with the kids of today became a gateway of communication for thousands. And through that, Pokemon Gold and Silver changed in turn. Trainers call each other, looking for rematches or helping you out by giving you rare items or telling you when a bunch of rare Pokemon have swarmed a route. Team Rocket, once a dominant powerhouse, is a struggling relic of the past that the region's champion is actively handling. Legends of the Pokemon world aren't just elusive beasts whose lairs no one dares to tread, but mythological creatures woven into the lore of the Johto region. There are more trades with items and friendship evolutions that show humans interacting with Pokemon to help them reach their full potential. Radio programs celebrating Pokemon and bringing people closer together. Heck, the original version of Gold and Silver just had the entirety of the Kanto region as one particularly large town. One small part of a much bigger world. While Red was able to find friendship within the world of Pokemon, Johto's champion truly thrives in a Pokemon world. You've proven your love of Pokemon, you've bonded with others, you actually call your mom, while Red's is left at home, quietly believing that her son is doing all right. Like Pokemon itself, you have evolved. And while you were exceptional before, reaching a height that no one could ever compare to, you can top yourself. You can always top yourself. There is absolute beauty in Red's simplicity. He doesn't need to say a word, and in fact chooses not to, but any player can recognize this torch-passing moment just through the pure act of a Pokemon battle. Red is all of the triumphs of the original Pokemon titles personified, and while his close friends will admit that some things never change with him sticking to the past isn't really shown as a bad thing. Red is never portrayed as a boogeyman whose very appearance is reason for anxiety as they come out of nowhere with an insane challenge. Red is always a fair fight, there for you to eventually aspire to and challenge. The glory days of being champion may be behind him, and he may be rigidly inflexible in his tastes, but Red still truly loves Pokemon. He'll dabble here or there with new strategies like weather, figure out ways for his old favorites to shine, and gladly throw down the gauntlet anytime someone steps up to face him. Pokemon is a constantly evolving series, even if its format or technical shortcomings would lead you to believe otherwise. Each generation is just as much of a chance for new players to fall in love with Pokemon as it is a chance for old players to admit that this is the generation where Pokemon loses its heart. The focus, features, tone, even the Pokemon themselves may change, but the soul, journeying through this world, caring about the people and activities therein no matter how insignificant, wanting to explore it to its fullest, to find favorites you'll bond with, and together become the very best, that has never faltered. Red represents all of the positivity of the Pokemon franchise. Growing up through it and, while maybe not diving deep into every generation, appreciating the good of it when he can, while always being reverent of its past. And for a series as volatile as Pokemon, where every entry is both the best it's ever been and hilariously awful to different groups of people, I think it's kind of beautiful having a remnant of the old guard who just loves what he loves about Pokemon. Red isn't just a bonus boss thrown in for a final trial or some proof about how good the old days were. He's a dignified, sincere, and challenging testament of how to design for legacy.